doya koro more. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, doya koro more. Tuma bina ke doyalu, jagata samsare. Tuma bina ke doyalu, jagata samsare. Patita pavana hetu, tava avatara. Musamabhatita Prabhu, na paideyana. Musamabhatita Prabhu, na paideyana. Aha Prabhu Nityananda, Premananda Suki. Aha Prabhu Nityananda, Premananda Suki. Kripa Balokana Koro, Ami Koro Duki. Kripa Balokana Koro, Ami Koro Duki. Doya Koro Sita Bhakti, Advaita Gosai. Doya Koro Sita Bhakti, Advaita Gosai. Navaki Pabale Pai, Chaitanya Nitai. Chaitanya Nitai. Aha Sarupana Sana, Rupa Raghunatha. Aha Sarupana Sana, Rupa Raghunatha. Katha Yuga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanatha. Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanatha, doya koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa. Ramachandra Sangha Mage Narottama Dasa. Ramachandra Sangha Mage Narottama Dasa. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, doya koro more. की जय, श्री श्रीनिताई सचिसुत की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुपर महाराज की जय, श्री राधा परिसिस्वार की जय। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय देता चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद, जय देता चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय देता चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद, जय देता चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद, जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय देता चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद, चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय देता चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद, जय देता चंद्र Pancha Tattva ki Jai. Okay, let's put it on. So today we are continuing our reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila. This is Bhagavad Gita. And 10th chapter, verse 107.
We don't see the we don't see.
Ah, yeah, how?
You read shloka, so you said PPT, you read PPT. I'll put shloka. Sorry.
You put from your phone or how? Okay, I let you do the technique.
Then.
No?
No, okay, what is the shloka? What is the.
Adi 10, 107.
Only one.
Yes. So today, just to remind you, it's a very auspicious day. It's the disappearance day of Abhiram Thakur, an associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, considered also a very close associate and friend of Nityananda Prabhu. And yeah, he is known in Krishna Lila as Sridham. And we'll discuss a good amount of this discussion of today will be around Abhiram Thakur, and we'll make a connection also with Srinath Pandit. I could find at least one. Maybe you have other connections, because there is not prolific writing about Srinath Pandit. So let's discover that. And in the Christian calendar also today it's the resurrection of Jesus. Back Easter. It's officially today that they celebrate resurrection or rebirth of Jesus, like this, after he was crucified on Friday, 3 days after he was, let's say, born again, appearing again. Yeah. If I zoom, is it better like this? Okay. Srinatha Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Srinatha Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vashatri Bhuvana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vashatri Bhuvana.
Srinatha Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Srinatha Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vashatri Bhuvana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vashatri Bhuvana.
Srinatha Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Srinatha Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vashatri Bhuvana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vashatri Bhuvana.
Srinath Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Srinatha Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vashatri Bhuvana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vashatri Bhuvana.
Srinatha Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Srinatha Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vasatri Bhuvana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vashatri Bhuvana.
Srinatha Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Srinatha Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vasatri Bhuvana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vashatri Bhuvana.
Srinatha Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Srinatha Pandita Prabhu Kripara Bhajana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vasatri Bhuvana.
Yanra Krishna Seva Deki Vasatri Bhuvana. Srinatha Pandita,
Srinatha Pandita,
Srinath Pandit,
Srinath Pandit,
Prabhura
Prabhu
of the Lord,
of the Lord,
Kripara
Kripara
of mercy,
of mercy,
Bhajana,
Bhajana,
receiver,
Receiver,
Yanara,
Yana,
whose
whose
Krishna Seva,
Krishna Seva,
worship of Lord Krishna,
worship of Lord Krishna,
Dekhi,
Dekhi,
seeing,
seeing,
Vasha,
Vasha,
subjugated,
subjugated,
Tribhuvana,
Tribhuvana,
all the three worlds,
all the three worlds,
Srinatha Pandit, translation, so Srinath Pandit, the 49th branch, was the beloved recipient of all the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everyone in the three worlds was astonished to see how he worshipped Lord Krishna. Purport by His Divine Grace, Abhaicharan Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhashya, about 1.5 miles away from Kumarahatta or Kamarhatta, which is a few miles from Calcutta, is a village known as Kanchadapada, which was the home of Sri Shivananda Sen. There, he constructed a temple of Sri Gaur Gopal. Srinatha Pandit established another temple there with Sri Radhakrishna Murtis. The deity of that temple is named Sri Krishna Rai. The temple Krishna Rai, which was constructed in the year 1708 Shakabda, which means for us 1786, by a prominent zamindar named Nimai Mullik of Paturia Ghat in Calcutta, is very large. There is a big courtyard in the front of the temple, and there are residential quarters for visitors and good arrangements for cooking prasadam. Let's go. The entire courtyard is surrounded by very high boundary walls, and the temple is almost as big as the Mahesh temple. Inscribed on the tablets are the names of Srinath Pandit and his father and grandfather and the date of construction of the temple. Srinath Pandit, one of the disciples of Advaita Prabhu, was the spiritual master of the third son of Shivananda Sen, who was known as Paramananda Kavi Karnapur. It is said that the Krishna Rai deity was installed during the time of Kavi Karnapur. According to hearsay, Virabhadra Prabhu, the son of Nityananda Prabhu, brought a big stone from Murshidabad, from which 3 deities were carved, namely the Radha Vallabha Vigraha of Vallabhapura, the Shyamasundar Vigraha of Kadadaha, and the Sri Krishna Rai Vigraha of Kanchadapada. The home of Shivananda Sen was situated on the bank of the Ganges near an almost ruined temple. It is said that the same Nimai Malik of Calcutta saw this broken down temple of Krishna Rai while he was going to Benares, and thereafter constructed the present temple. Oh, actually, I just noticed that it was, this full purport is actually the extract, from the Anubhashya of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, because I noticed this.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, welcome for the class, CC class. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnanjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamaram Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Radha Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Rapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Vyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityamine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gaurani Prachaline Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasani Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Nam Eva Kevalam Kalo Nastyeva Gatiranya. So before sharing what came to my mind about this verse, just by your mercy, to speak on the Chaitanya Charitamrita in accordance with our Guru Parampara, for pleasure of the devotees, Srila Prabhupada, the deities, and for my own purification, so that I can better serve you all. So yeah, if we start with Srinath Pandit. So as I said, not much we can find easily, at least, or I was not shown much about Srinath Pandit, even though I made little research. So what we get here is an explanation that he was a close associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was a beloved recipient of all the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And immediately when I read this, I remember that actually with the word recipient, I heard that when we, reaching love of Godhead is not only by our own effort, right? It's of course the mercy of the Lord, the mercy of Guru, the mercy of the Vaishnavas. But actually, if we want to increase the recipients of the mercy, to receive more mercy, like today it's almost raining, maybe we'll wait till the end of the Harinam before it rains. Weather forecast says that it should be quite sunny till the end of till noontime, something like that. So maybe there is hope for Harinam. But if you go now, let's say under the rain with a little cup of a little glass of water like this, you can get from the drop of rain some little water, within a few minutes. But if actually you go out with a huge plate, big surface plate with some pot or something from the kitchen, then you just increase your capacity to receive mercy, because the drops are everywhere spreading. So if you increase the recipient of mercy, then there is more chance for you to connect with this mercy. And this happens through our effort to serve better the Lord, the devotees, Guru. And this effort is important in our Krishna consciousness. And in order not to fall in the trap of everything is Krishna's mercy, so I don't need to do anything, It will come whether I do this or not do this. But it is partly true, but still we have to make our effort to show our sincerity to the Lord, to purify and to serve Him. If we want to reach the pure devotional service, it's part of the path. Till at least we get some strong connection, attachments in the service of the Lord. So this effort is definitely required, but not only. as we read in Bhagavad Gita, in 6th chapter, there is explanation of mainly about the Ashtanga Yoga, right? The 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And one verse explains how we should be balanced, in everything, including, work, recreation also is part of it. And this applies in different areas of our life. And it should go in parallel. We cannot always be doing extra effort, extra austerities. We also need some recreation, some time where to breathe, so that we are more connected in what we are doing, that we are more able to connect our work with Krishna, our sport with Krishna, our eating with Krishna, our sleeping with Krishna. It's like with digestion. If you want to digest properly, so your belly should be filled with 3 main ingredients, like food, liquids, and what is the third important ingredient? Air. Yeah. If there is no air in your stomach, you will hardly digest. And you can understand if there is air in your belly after prasadam, if you are still active, because if after prasadam you are like this, it looks very heavy, your body is so heavy, you're like a bear, almost hardly carrying your body, to go from here to there, or hardly starting your new service. So this is an indication that you probably need to bring or to let more air in your belly, not artificially, but trying to, for the next time, reduce a little bit of liquids or food, depends on which one, but most of the time it should be food to work on, because this will allow better digestion. And when the food is properly digested, then it feeds all the body. It goes in all the part of your body, and you have the full benefits of the prasadam, not only materially speaking for the health, but also spiritually speaking. So in the same way, we should also breathe between every have a bite, between everything. We should have time to comment on dit mâcher, to chew, that it also helps digestion, that we bring the air here, that we are more conscious of what quantity we should carefully put in the belly so that we can continue to serve nicely. So all of this shows the importance of having this recreation, this time, this air in our devotional life. It is very important to introspect. Some senior devotees in our movement. You can look in France with Dhananjaya Prabhu, who follows the advice of Keshava Maharaj to write journal, to make journal, to just introspect, to put on a paper or on the computer. The paper is kind of bring more fruit on that, because you put on the paper means you bring your thoughts in the matter, and so it helps you to look at your ideas, to look at your thoughts, because sometimes we are not aware of our thoughts, but actually when you start to write, you become aware of these thoughts, and it helps you to have some relation also, to connect the topics, to connect the knowledge, to make connection with whatever you heard during the day, whatever you read, the situation Krishna sent you. If you make this time, it's really helpful. And so, coming back from the Dham, Keshava Maharaj shared in a class. He was in front of professionals in a company. He does a lot of preaching like this. He was in US in Intel company, and he was addressing some of the employees there, and he was sharing that, I was advised by a sadhu there that every year we should have 1 month disconnected from our classic routine, be it work or be it temple services. We should make this time to to disconnect and reconnect in another way with Krishna. Within a month, we should take 1 day like this. And within a day, we should have at least 1 hour, just to to have this time of breathing of air to sustain in the long run. So he tries to apply that, and because he was addressing professionals who are not necessarily practicing devotees, he was advising that let's join the 5 a.m. club. He inspires them to wake up earlier and to make this time. And within this 1 hour in the morning, he advises to divide it into 4 parts, so 15 minutes each. One is for meditating, one is for first exercising, then meditating, then reading, and then reflecting, like that. So this is how he brings people to start their journey. It's quite inspiring for people. You see the reaction, it brings really nice enlightenment. And so let's try to think about that, to give space in our devotional activities so that it does not become mechanical. And because, how can I switch to the other presentation now?
Stop this one.
I just close it? Or how do I stop it?
Just close this tab.
I close it, yeah?
And now open the next tab with where the presentation is.
Yes.
On the upper right corner there are 3 dots.
Uh-huh.
And in the drop down menu there will be caster.
Okay. Cast.
Yes.
Like that, yeah?
You have to choose the
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Technology. Thank you so much for making this arrangement. So Srinath Pandit, for me it helps to make these little diagrams to remember, because when I read, then I immediately forget who is father or spiritual master of whom. It's all mismatched in my head. So when I put like this, it's easier to retain. So maybe I thought it would be helpful for you. So Srinath Pandit is a disciple of Radha Prabhu, as it is mentioned in the verse, so we can understand the importance of his personality. And himself, Srinath Pandit, it is said in the purport of Srila Prabhupada that he is the spiritual master of Kavi Karnapur, one of the 3 sons of Shivananda Sen. So on the left, you can see, on the left also, you can see, so Shivananda Sen, who was the father of Kavi Karnapur, who is the author of Gaura Ganodesha Deepika, who is saying who is whom from Krishna Lila, Gaura Lila. We kind of mentioned him at least every week, I guess, with this 10th chapter, Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila. Then he was also father of Chaitanya Das and Ramadas. We'll try to focus today on Bhakti, but still the important thing that we can remember of Srinath Pandit is that he was very well known for being a worshipper of Lord, how he worshipped Lord Krishna. And one of his main contributions in that area is that he established the temple of Sri Krishna Roy, and establishes the Radha Krishna deities in Hali, Hasar. It's so the east part of Bengal. And here you can see some pictures. So on the right is the temple that was established back then, because in the purport it is mentioned that it was reconstructed by this Nimai Mulik. So historically it was it was damaged, the temple there. It is not, I couldn't find exactly why, but some sources mention that it was due to the changing of flow of the Ganges River, because it was on the bank of the river Ganges. So most probably they say that it was damaged due to that change of the direction of the Ganges. And so Nimai Mulik, who passed by there, just endeavored, he made endeavor to build this temple, and Srinath Pandit established the Radha Krishna deities, and you can see on the left, down left, I couldn't find a better picture, sorry for that, but the deities that are still worship in this temple the Radha Krishna deities. And in front of the temple there is also a deity, you can see on the top left corner of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and a little writings down sharing that there is Srimad Pandit who established with his father and grandfather like this the temple. One connection we can make with Abhiram Thakur is that they both had association of Virachandra Prabhu, who is one son of Nityananda Prabhu. And Virachandra Prabhu contributed also to this installation of the temple by bringing the big stone that will then allow to carve these days Radha Krishna. And not only these ones, but also the Radha Vigraha of Vallabhapura, the Shyamasundar Vigraha of Kadadaha, and so this one of, that is situated in Kanchadapada. So this is one connection. Now, because it is, as Nitai Gaurasundar Prabhu shared yesterday, considered like the festival, the Kadashi is like the mothers of devotion, we are kind of obliged to talk for our own benefits of the disappearance day of Abhiram Thakur. So there are nectarian pastimes with Abhiram Thakur, and I beg your mercy again to remember and to share properly about these pastimes so that we are all inspired by this wonderful personality. So once in Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram were playing with Sridham the play hide and seek. Because recreation is not only for us, it's also for Krishna Balaram. They are always playing actually. And they were playing with their devotees, hide and seek around Govardhan. And so Sridham was there and he was hiding in the cave. And it was like this. They were all hiding and they played like this, but they didn't find Sridham. And it is said that at some point they decided, Krishna and Balaram to go to Navadvip to perform all the pastimes. And they just left behind Sridham. And when you understand that when we are talking about Navadvip, it's some 1,000 years after, right? So Sridham was still waiting, and at some point, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Navadvip just wondered, but where is Sridham? Where is Sridham? Where is Sridham? It was exactly remembering about Sridham, and Chaitanya Prabhu said, yeah, we probably left him in Vrindavan where we were playing hide and seek, you remember? And so because it was Dvapara Yuga, now it is about Kali Yuga, you understand the number of years, right? And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Nityananda, but go and find him and bring him here, we need him. And so Nityananda Prabhu followed the advice of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the instruction, and went back to Vrindavan around Govardhan and was calling, Sridham, Sridham, where are you? And Sridham went out of his cave. Yes, who is calling? Who is calling? And then Nityananda Prabhu came in front of him and said, hey, I'm Balai. Was also a nickname of Balaram, yeah? And where were you? We are waiting for you in Navadvip. What do you mean? Who are you? You are not Balai. Balai was much bigger than that because Dvapara Yuga, the bodies were twice bigger. It is said that there were 3.5 inch size in Kali Yuga, and there were 7 inches tall in Dvapara Yuga, so 2 times bigger. Said, you are not, I don't think you are Balaram. You are not this Balai. Are you? Okay, one way, if you are saying you are, then let's check. Because when they were playing, they were also running, They were good runners, and they were very, very experts, because to run is one thing. Who is running here? Who is doing regular running? You are doing once a week? Okay.
I try.
Running? How often?
2-3 times.
2-3 times a week. Jagannath?
Yeah, also the same.
2-3 times. You also? Ah. Good. So already with a pant, with a short, you know, I guess you have pants or shorts to run, right? But they were running with dhotis around Govardhan. And so you can understand how expert they were in running. And it is said that Abhiram was very strong and was running very fast, but only Balaram could beat him and catch him behind. So he said, now let's make sure you are Balaram. I will run and you will try to catch me. And so they started to run like this 4 times around Govardhan Hill, it is said. So you understand that already it's today 22 kilometers to make. It's a semi-marathon, no? To make just a parikram of Govardhan is 22 kilometers. And back then, because it was Dvapara Yuga, and you know the like not the legend, but the story, the curse that Govardhan Hill had, that it was diminished by an inch. What was it? Half centimeter every year, something like this. Or the size of a mustard seed every year decreased. So back then it means Govardhan Hill was much bigger also. So it was even longer to make the whole tour of the Govardhan Hill. So you can understand the distance. But still, when Sridham was running at some point, because he was in dhoti, the dhoti was starting to be dismantled and he had to stop, to remake his dhoti. And those who dance like crazy during the kirtans may understand this feeling of having to remake the dhoti, and it's so disturbing and shameful. And when he looked back, he saw that Nityananda Prabhu was right behind. He said, okay, so now I accept you. Like, you are definitely Balaram, because only Balaram could make it. So he understood that Nityananda Prabhu is not different from Balaram. And then still he was a bit, sad, because he was left behind. And so Balaram said, Nityananda Prabhu told him, okay, now please come on, Navadvip, Lord Chaitanya is waiting for you. Let's discuss about all this that happened. He said, no, I can't. And so what happened is that he manifested another form as Ramadas to go there. So Sridham stayed back, let's say, manifested the form Ramadas, and in this feeling accepted to go to Navadvip and meet with Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu. So he had the same shape, the same height, tallness, and he joined there. And after a while, he decided to accept to get a body, a form that will befit Gaura Lila, and he accepted the form of Abhiram Thakur. So Abhiram Thakur, as it is said, that he has a special whip. You know what is a whip? To beat not to beat, but not necessarily to beat, but one function of a whip is like this, to beat. And he had a very special whip. It is called Jaya Mangala whip. So Jaya means all victory, and Mangala means auspicious, no? So it was an auspicious victory whip. And it is said that whenever he was beating someone with this whip, this person got love of Godhead. So who wants to be beaten by the whip of Abhiram? Sorry, we just have this kind of here whip, but it's not a whip, so we don't have yet. So this whip, he was bestowing love of Godhead like this. There was one episode with Srinivas Acharya receiving three times the beat of this whip, and the wife of Abhiram Thakur, Malini Devi, she saw this. She was witnessing.
Wife of Sri Vishnu.
No, wife of Abhiram Thakur.
Malini Devi was the wife.
It's what I found. Yeah, it's in the Vaishnava calendar. No.
Okay, let me check it. I know Malini Devi was the wife of Sri Vishnu.
Yeah. but here it's Shiva Thakur is not mentioned, I think. Okay, I will check that. Sorry for any inconvenience. So let's say the wife of Abhiram Thakur was witnessing and said, "Stop doing this! Stop doing this! It's too much. You are beating him too much." She was worried. And actually what happened is that Srinivas Acharya was like in ecstasy receiving these beats, and he just got love of Godhead also. Another very mystical power that Abhiram Thakur had is that whenever he was bowing down in front of a devotee, in front of someone, if this someone was not a pure devotee, he would quit the body immediately. He would die. So there are a few instances like this where, Abhiram Thakur was bowing down and, devotees were a bit worried what will happen, they didn't want him to bow down, And one episode with that is connected with another associate of Lord Chaitanya, Mukunda, the doctor. There are different Mukundas, but here is the Mukunda who was a doctor and was the father of Raghunandana, this little boy. Do you remember any pastime with Raghunanda? Yes, there is a story, a very famous story where Raghunandana was told by his parents how to offer prasadam to the Lord. And one day, it used to be Mukunda who was doing the offering himself, but one day he had to go earlier to work, and he said, "Okay, today, my dear boy, Raghunandana, you will offer yourself the boga to the Lord. It's very simple, so Mom will explain you in the morning, and then you will do." So it was, on the offering was a glass of milk and some ladus. And the mother explained, so you take this glass of milk, you take these ladus, bring in the plate in front of the deities, okay? And you will recite these mantras, and then you wait a little until the Lord take the meal, and then you can bring it back, like this. So, Raghunandana, the boy goes, took the milk, the ladus, goes in front of the deities, and with firm faith offers, recite the mantras, and wait in the corners. But he sees that the Lord doesn't come, Lord Gopinath doesn't come. And he's like, "But Gopinath, you have to come. You have to come and take the prasadam." And he started to cry, because he had full faith in the instruction of his parents that, the Lord will come and literally take the glass of milk and take the ladus like directly, and it will be visible in my eyes. And it didn't happen straight away, so he started to cry. And because the Lord is so merciful, he came in front of him and took the glass of milk, took the ladus out of the plate. And when he brings back the plate to the mother said, "But where is the milk? Where are the ladus?" They were bewildered like this. "Did you eat them? You are not supposed to eat them." So there was some interaction like this that they were, bewildered by his behavior. So you should not do that. And so once they wanted to check if it was true, because they were still, understanding, okay, maybe there is something, a special boy, so let's see. And some days after, the father decided to stay away. He pretended he would go to work, but actually he would hide. Again, hide and seek. He would hide behind the curtain and witness the scene. And so it happened the same. He brought the glass of milk, the ladus, he offered to Gopinath. And after, again, it didn't happen, the Lord didn't come, so, "No, please come, you have to come. I promised my parents I would offer, so you have to eat now." And the Lord, this time, came also. And the father Mukunda was witnessing. And he saw that the Lord took half of the glass and half of the ladus. So he understood that Raghunandana was very sincere and special son. And after Lord Chaitanya in that regard said, "So Mukunda, Raghunandana is your son, but he is your father, no? You are son, who is the father, who is the son?" It was like this, emphasizing that actually the one who shows how to serve Krishna with pure devotion So in that way, Raghunandana was in the eyes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the father of Mukunda. And so, because Raghunandana glory was well known, then it happened that Abhiram Thakur wanted to have his darshan and bow down in front of him. But the parents, they were so scared. No, what will happen if he comes and we don't want that our son quit the body? So no, we don't want. And they pretended when Abhiram Thakur came, no, but Titus is not here, sorry. And so, how come he's not here? Okay. And so he was a bit disappointed, felt something was missing in his heart. And so he left. And afterwards, when Raghunandana Prabhu heard about this, that he came and so on, he was also bewildered and he wanted to meet with him. And so somehow or other they meet somewhere else. And there was this bowing down happening and nothing happened because he was a pure devotee. So immediately after they bowed down, they started to jump and dance together in ecstasy, because they were finding each other. And they had this close connection with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is some of the episodes of the life of Abhiram Thakur. That I can now remember. What else was there? Is there any clue of any pastimes that you could remember, please? Yeah, you can share.
We wrote down in front of the Nityananda Prabhu's son, and some of them died.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And when Radha Prabhu came, it didn't happen. Yes, 7. I read 7 children of Nityananda Prabhu departed the body because Abhiram Thakur bowed down in front of them, and they were not pure devotees. So it's very serious boon that he has. 7. And Virabhadra then also had this interaction with Abhiram, but was not quitting the body, indicating that he is also a pure devotee. Yeah. Yeah, and there were other instances. But unfortunately, I can't remember them now. Do you have anything to add? Any question regarding these most auspicious characters? Any pastime you remember?
There must be 2 Malini actually. Here we found.
Yeah?
2 Malini actually.
Okay, so one is Srivas Thakur and one is about the wife of Abhiram Thakur.
Abhiram Thakur's
Thakur's wife. One is Srivas Thakur's wife.
Okay. Thank you for inquiring. And so they were in the mood of friendship, like Sridham was in the Sakyaras with Krishna Balaram. So in the same way, Abhiram Thakur was also in this Sakya, the rasa of friendship with Lord Chaitanya and his associates. Definitely, it's very important to honor these personalities, to reach their pastimes, how they entire, because they are very close to us in some way, closer than Radha Krishna directly. So we can more relate. And the glories of the Vaishnava are so relishable, so impacting for our consciousness that they are a very purifying effect. If you remember, those who were attending some programs for the disappearance of some Vaishnav of our yatra, for instance, when you hear about their glories that we can directly relate to because we live in the same country, have some service, we serve together, but remembering what they did these past years, what they did for the movement, what they did for Srila Prabhupada, you understand how this process is so powerful, how it connects everyone with Krishna, and it gives a lot of inspiration. When you finish this kind of program with kind of glorification to the Vaishnav, it helps so much it gives so much enthusiasm, even though you are feeling this sadness in your heart of the separation which is there. Still, they are present in our memory when we connect. We try to remember about the service we were doing together, what they did for the movements. And in that way, they are still present and they keep being with us, helping us by their example. You can always remember, for some aspects, the example of the Vaishnavas. We are not pure devotees, so we are not exemplary in all aspects, but each devotee shows some example, you know. So we can, instead of trying to blaspheme the devotees, try to glorify devotees, which means, and it is also an effort to do it sometimes, because the tendency in our conditioned state is to directly point the fault. But the effort is, okay, there is a fault, but let's try to make a conscious effort to first, before pointing, remember like nice qualities, activities of this person. This person, yeah, may have some fault, but maybe he cooks very nice breakfast, he does very nice kirtan, he gives good class, he takes time with devotees and he cares for devotees. You know, he helps by cleaning the temple, he helps by growing flowers, he helps by driving devotees, distributing books. So many, you know, as Prabhupada left so many opportunities for us to serve in this movement, every devotee can find something for which he can be glorified. And be it devotee or non-devotee, as per our criteria, never mind. We should ultimately see everyone as being servant of Krishna. Some of them are not doing it directly, but they are still serving the energy of Krishna. So it's our duty to bring them to serve the internal energy of Krishna, to engage him in the conscious and direct devotional service of Krishna. Okay, it's 9. We'll try to not go over time.
Do you have any information of how Abir
No, I didn't find. I read the mysterious disappearance of Rabindranath Tagore happened this year, but I don't know how exactly he disappeared. Sorry. Right. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Rabindranath Tagore Tirtha ki jai.
His grace, Jiva Prana Prabhu ki
Jai.
jai.
Prabhupada ki jai. Tout gloire au dévot d'assemblée.